You don't have a mental illness. You don't have a problem with anxiety or depression. You don't have an imbalance in your neurochemistry. It's all in the body. And so, if we want to liberate the mind, then we must first free the body. The body is this incredible living supercomputer that stores the memory of everything we've ever experienced. And its only job is to keep us safe here, to protect us from reliving our most painful and traumatic moments. Now, when it comes to the world of personal transformation, there is an entire industry today built around psychology, changing your mindset, positive thinking, rewiring beliefs through affirmations. And these things can be great. Many people find them very useful, very helpful, and they definitely move the needle in the right direction. But maybe you have experienced what I have, that psychological transformation mindset. It can only take you so far. It can only take you to a certain depth. I remember during my hockey career, I was getting into the mindset stuff, but I hadn't quite gotten into the somatic body work. I was even part of teams who worked with sports psychologists on the staff. I was trying to rewire all my subconscious beliefs and limiting beliefs from early childhood. And when you're sitting in the locker room or you're sitting in your dorm room, it's great. You feel great. You're like, this is easy. I'm changing. I'm transforming. But when it comes game time, when you're in the heat of the moment, that's when things get difficult. This is when all that stuff starts to come up. This is when you make a mistake or a couple mistakes early in the game, and you would get back to the bench, and you feel it in your gut. It's an emotional response, an emotional feeling. It isn't up here. It's not a psychological belief system. You can actually feel the energy in the body, and the emotion becomes the origin of the dialogue that starts to go on in your head, that I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm going to make a mistake, and then I'm going to get punished for that mistake, and then I'm going to be rejected by everybody. And so what I found is that psychology, it could only take me a certain distance. That the real problem is that I had these emotions, these traumas that were unresolved, and they were stored in the body. And every time I would get into a situation that brought up that stress or that fear, and the body was in that state of alertness and high awareness, that's when these emotions would come back up, and then they would start the beliefs that would start to repeat and go on in the mind over and over. And so trauma is stored in the body. The body is the subconscious mind. Now, what should happen when we experience something difficult or painful is the body and the mind should be able to work together to kind of process and release these energies and these experiences, kind of go through that. We've all seen the grief loop, where you experience every emotion along the wheel in the process of grief, and this is healthy. And we should feel all the emotions. We should be able to release that energy from the body. And animals know this instinctually. My dog, every time she hears a thunderstorm, thunder and lightning, or fireworks going on outside, she will just sit there and she'll shake uncontrollably. And that is the fear processing and releasing from the body, from the energetic field. If you look at an animal like a deer, after they get chased by a lion in the wild, they will stand there and they will shake just like a dog. They'll let all that fear purge from the body. They're not doing anything. They're not trying to busy themselves and distract themselves from their pain. They're in the moment, they're feeling it, and they're releasing it. But what happens with us, with human beings, is we experience different types of trauma. We're no longer being chased by the predator in the wild, and coming back to our little dwelling or our village, and taking the time to process those things, and let the body know that it's safe again, because that's what should happen is when we experience something difficult, the nervous system should regulate itself again, so that we don't stay in that state of hyper fear and alertness our whole life. But this is what we do. Most humans are always in this state because we are experiencing different types of this trauma. Maybe as a little kid you were abused, or you were beat by a parent, that when you were punished they smacked you with a belt, or maybe you experienced the loss of a parent as a child. Mom and dad got a divorce. You experienced social rejection and alienation. And in the case of all of these things, they're difficult, they're painful, there's a lot of emotions. As a little kid, it's almost too much to process. You don't feel like you could take it all in and understand what's going on. The little child's mind is like, why is this happening to me? I don't understand why I deserve this, why I'm experiencing this. And when something like this happens, like losing a loved one, or a divorce, or being abused, the body is never allowed to re-enter that state of safety, because the mind is always worried about, when is this going to happen next? If this happened to me now, it could happen to me again, and so I need to protect myself against this happening. I need to be prepared for the next time that dad comes at me swinging his belt because he's drunk, or the house is not stable anymore. Mom and dad aren't together, and so I don't feel supported. I don't feel safe. And so we stay in this constant state of fear. We are never allowed to process what really happened. And so what happens is we are not allowed to complete that loop. The nervous system stays stuck at some point along that path. The body doesn't feel safe to process our emotions and our thoughts and what really happened. And so this negative state, it gets locked into the nervous system. This energy of fear, guilt, shame, unworthiness, it stays in the energetic field of the body, because as we know, energy can't be created or destroyed. It has to go somewhere. And the place that it goes is it gets stored in the tissues of the body, usually in the area of the low back, the hips, the pelvis, and it starts to build up. It doesn't go away. It accumulates over the course of a lifetime. As we experience more and more themes of trauma, this energy, it continues to accumulate. And as we accumulate that massive amount of negative energy in the body, it actually takes a huge amount of our life force energy to hold it down. And so we get very tired, very drained as we get older. It's a lot like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes this tremendous amount of energy, and it's not really sustainable either. As hard as we try to shove it down, we really can't, because it starts to build up so much like a pressure cooker. It's only a matter of time before it starts to leak out in strange and uncontrollable ways. This looks a lot of times like disease, like anxious or depressive thoughts, imbalances in the body, strange addictions, neuroses. Unfortunately, this is something that is very common in very devout religious communities, because a lot of times actually the people who are drawn into religion to begin with are people who have experienced a lot of trauma, and they're searching for that deeper meaning and sense of community in their life, which is a great thing. But when they get there, what are we told? We're told to suppress our dark side, to suppress our badness, to be a good boy or a good girl so God will reward us. to repress our feelings of guilt and shame, to repress the aspects of us that are considered undesirable, like our sexual desires and impulses. We're told to suppress all these things. And so we continue the process of pushing it down. And what we repress, we're really just giving energy to. And it is inevitable that it will explode in very ugly ways if we continue to deny these parts of ourselves and deny our own experiences and traumas. And this is why you see in places like the church all of these scandals where these priests who took a vow of celibacy, they are doing things like molesting children, because when you repress, especially the parts and the emotions that are natural to human beings, when you don't embrace that darkness and learn to balance it, it does, it explodes. And it's anybody's guess in what way it's going to explode. And so how do we prevent this from happening to us? How do we start to heal before it gets very ugly? And we, at the bottom line, is we need to give this energy a sort of outlet, a release. We need to start to process it, acknowledge it, create space so that we can feel safe. So we feel safe to feel unsafe. So we can begin to feel the emotions that we never allowed ourselves to feel in the past. Because the body, it can't heal when it's in this constant survival mode, which is where most people are. And it's this terrible loop where you can't heal because you're in fight or flight, and it just ends up being this constant spiral downward where you can never quite break the loop. It's like you can do all the mindset work and the changing your beliefs, but if you're doing all that in your mind, but your body feels like it's about to die, like to your body, it's like it's drowning in the middle of an ocean. It's fighting for its life. And so if your body is in that constant state, things can never move from here into the body. There's this block where you'll never get past the mind and into the deep areas of working in the body and releasing that energy. And so at the end of the day, we need to send the body that signal that it never got, the signal that it's safe to heal and to process, and only then will it start to release a lot of those things for healing. We need to move that energy, to acknowledge it, to see it, to give compassion and love to ourselves for everything that we've been to give ourselves credit, to tell ourselves that I know it was hard, but I'm proud of you for getting through it, and I'm proud of you for your strength and your resilience, right? This is, especially emotional healing, it is a process, and we need to be patient, we need to be gentle with ourselves. It's a lot like peeling back the layers of an onion, where you need to take care of the surface level stuff first, because there are a lot of things that are much deeper traumas that right now the mind will not even let you see yet, because it's too painful, it's too traumatizing. The body doesn't feel safe to even attempt to process it right now. The emotions that you feel would completely disorient you, but you'll get there as you just peel back what's coming up now. And as you continue to do that, the body will start to feel more and more safe to let you see and acknowledge the deeper stuff. So you can start to exhale, relax, feel this inner peace. So your mind can begin to recognize that this happened, it was difficult, but it was just a story that I've been telling myself. It's a story that I have been choosing my whole life to be real, and this is why I repeat it. But it was never true. It was never true about the world. It was never true about me. The intelligence of the body. It knows exactly the path it needs to take in order to heal, in order to purge these more difficult emotions. And so it's important to let yourself cry, laugh, yell, punch a pillow, shake like a dog, exercise, move your body. For me lately, I've been feeling a lot of these big releases in my lower back and my hips. It's like these big knots of energy. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I'll have to just breathe into that area of my body, and I'll feel these big knots kind of release. And when those knots release, it's like this new energy gets liberated, and it shoots up your body. And this new energy is energy we could use for healing, for creativity, for expressing ourselves, for being physically active. And so this is what it's about. It's about creating this inner spaciousness in the body to hold more of what you do want, more energy, more aliveness, more vitality, so your soul essence can really anchor into your body. And this could look different for everybody. There's no one-size-fits-all practice. It is going to change over time. Everybody's going to have something different that works for them. It may be somatic breath work, it might be Kundalini yoga, it could just be working out, exercise, modalities like hypnotherapy, even dancing, boxing, anything to get energy moving. One of my other favorites is meditation, particularly in inner child meditation, where you are going into a deep state of relaxation. You're going deep into the subconscious, bypassing the subconscious mind, and you are giving your body the signal that I am safe, I am loved, and you can show me what you want to show me to heal those things that I experienced when I was a little kid that I never really healed from or resolved. And so I do have a guided inner child meditation that I will link to down below if you are interested in that. Please feel free to check it out. But I would encourage you to just start working with the body. Move the body, love your body, thank your body for holding on to all this trauma until a time such as now when you are ready to look at yourself in the mirror and really heal at a deep level. Because I think all of us, what we really want is a life of greater health, greater abundance, greater love and joy and freedom. And if you think about it, it's like we're trying to fill our cup with all of these good things. But our cup is full right now. It's full of all these emotions and traumas and experiences that we never allowed ourselves to heal from. We are overflowing with fear and with guilt and with shame and all of these things. And so if we want to accept more of these good things into our life, into our experience, we have to really start to empty our cup of all the more negative things. And so it's really just creating space in the body, creating space in our energetic field to draw new experiences to us, for new opportunities, for just more, so that we can feel safe to trust in the unknown, to trust in what's coming for us and what's meant to come to us. And so the universe, it is always trying to pour out to us, to give us more fullness, more good things. But we have to create that space in order to hold more and to receive more, and to just say yes to life and to all the good things that are really just waiting to enter our space and enter our life. And so this is a central part of what I do, is working with the body at really, really deep and profound and long-lasting transformation. Because once you release these things from the body, they're not yours anymore. You have disowned them. But in order to disown them, you must first own them and take responsibility for them. And so if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I'll put the link and more information down in the description below. You can just book a free call with me, see if it's a good fit. I would love to connect with you. Definitely check that out if you're interested. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss more videos. Thank you so much for joining. I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. If you've got experience with this, let me know down in the comments below some of your favorite ways to work with the body, some of your favorite modalities, some of the biggest breakthroughs you've had. So I will be back with more soon. I'll see you then. Until then, take care, have a great day, and thanks for joining me.